Hello, I am Sydney,
And I'm Melanie.
and this is Drawntaneous. So let's roll up our category of the day.
So is it OC object head food? I don't
Alright.
know, is there a better way to say that?
No, not really.
It's food object head.
Food object head. Alright.
Okay. So have you eaten anything good today?
I had the breakfast you made for me.
Yeah, what do we have for breakfast, Sydney?
Tocino.
Very good. What is tocino, Sydney?
A food I shouldn't eat.
No, you shouldn't. But it was very delicious and very nostalgic for me. It was basically, I guess, I've never heard it called this before until I looked it up out of curiosity. Wikipedia calls it Filipino bacon, which makes sense considering it is pork and it's marinated. It's delicious. It's a Filipino take on a Spanish food. But that's not what we're here to talk about today while you're drawing a food object head. We're going to talk about cats or dogs. And now we both have very strong feelings regarding this question. Sydney, do you prefer cats or dogs?
Cats. 100%.
And I prefer dogs. So I have a couple of questions here, and we're not going to bash on one or the other. We're just going to basically say why we think they're awesome and why we prefer that animal. So first question, why do you love cats, Sydney?
So I grew up with both cats and dogs, but I had many dogs throughout my life, but only one cat for 15 years, and my childhood cat, and it's very hard to have new cats because they just never reach the standard of Misty, my childhood cat, and she was very soft and very snuggly, and even though she was an indoor-outdoor cat, because in England they don't have screens, and that's where we got her, she was still, like, very affectionate. She loved being part of the family. Even when she got, like, old and sick, she was still, like, super cuddly. So I have a very strong affection for cats.
Why is it that you had so many dogs but only one cat?
We moved a lot, and we would end up, like, taking a dog for a friend. Because they're like, hey, I found this dog, but I can't, I have to go on vacation. Can you watch them? And then it just became our dog.
Sounds like a bunch of irresponsible friends.
Granted, we weren't much better because we were constantly getting dogs that, like, and then we'd have to give them away again when we moved. And, like, now we know much better, like, oh, that wasn't cool. Which is why we don't do that anymore.
All right. Well, I think we both know why I love dogs so much. There's just something so innocent about them. Like, you look at a dog and you know that dog can do no wrong. Even though some dogs will 100% play you and do wrong.
Like that fat chihuahua you used to babysit.
Oh my god. No, okay, that wasn't the fat chihuahua's fault. But I didn't grow up with pets. I always grew up coveting other people's dogs. My grandparents had a lovely dog, also named Misty. She was, I didn't know it at the time because they never called her by her actual breed, but she was a Quaker Hunt, which is, and I probably said that horrifically inaccurately, but it's the Dutch duck hunting dog, essentially. Like, their tails are bred specifically so that it imitates like a duck lure or something of the sort. They're really rare in the US. So I was like, how the heck did my grandparents find this dog? They just found her at a shelter and they got really lucky. And she is the sweetest thing, very affectionate. Definitely a lot of energy, but, like, you know, we were kids at the time. We were really young, so we just played with her. And she was just so sweet, so obedient, just the nicest dog ever. But yeah, they're so nice. You can't really stay mad at a dog. They just want to please you, essentially. So, we both just talked about dogs or cats that we know. Shall we talk about dogs or cats we have most recently been in contact with? Namely, a particular cat who we live with, who is our roommates.
Sissa. Short for Narcissa.
She is a delight.
Also a gremlin.
A gremlin. I would also describe her as a Muppet, just because when she opens her mouth and she does her little yawn, she looks like a Muppet.
That's because she's like a black soot sprite.
Yeah, she's very fluffy, very pink mouth, and she's just ridiculous. She is the most particular, and again, I haven't really lived with cats very much, but like...
I have. She's very picky.
She's very picky, she's very particular. She is a unique experience. I am so glad that she is not mine, though. I could not handle that. Oh, goodness.
Well, we're like the grandparents for this cat.
We're the
We
cool
get to,
aunts.
like, we get to fuck around with her and, like, torment her by, like, picking her up and snuggling her.
I mean, I think she likes it, because otherwise, I don't think she'd tolerate us doing this so frequently. I think she, like, secretly likes it and doesn't want us to
Well, she's
know.
also a pampered house cat. Like, Misty did not put up with shit. Like, if she didn't want to be picked up, like, you'd get swat. And my parents would be like, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, Sissa, like, you have to break up food for her so that
Oh, yeah.
she'll eat it.
So
Like-
we used to work at a pet store, and so we'd get discounts on specific brand stuff. And one was a like an
Fish fillet.
actual like fish fillet
Yeah, like,
that was like freeze dried in a package.
It wasn't even freeze dried.
Oh yeah, it was just like vacuum seal package. So
and like you could probably eat that yourself, and there'd be no ill effects.
yeah, it's just straight up fish. So we'd get them for her because she liked them, and you have to actually sit there and like break it into chunks, or she just like stares at you and won't eat it.
It's like she doesn't know how to chew or use her teeth at all.
Well, we know she doesn't know how to chew because how many times have we come home and there's just like barf on the floor that's like mostly food.
That's true. And the one time her owner didn't break up the chunks small enough, she did vomit up the chunks. So she is an interesting kitty.
It was beautiful.
Oh dear.
I have done many sketches of this cat. She's just a big black puff.
She's just so she has so much personality. She
Heh,
is
personality.
She has a delightfully unique what's it called? Gosh.
Meow.
No. Well, her meows are pretty cute. No, personality. No, not personality. No, I'm going insane right now. I don't even know what I was trying to go off on.
That's alright. It's alright.
She's unique. She's funny. The fact that she's so cute definitely makes her not as annoying as I would expect her to be. But you know, a dog that we've had in our house recently. My dog sister, my mom's new companion after empty nesting, now that I've left the house. My dog sister Shoku.
So, Shoku is... I was there when they adopted Shoku. Like, Mel's parents were very nice, and they taught me to drive so I could get my license, and I hated every moment of it. But they let me drive them to the animal shelter.
And I did not know this was happening.
Mel was unaware, and I was forbidden from telling her.
I had no idea this was going on at the time until I came home and saw my mom with a dog in her lap. What did my parents say they didn't want to get, Sydney?
They were adamant. So this is Southern California, so like, this dog is everywhere. They were very adamant. No Chihuahuas. Absolutely not. Chihuahuas are the devil, according to Mel's parents.
And what kind of dog did they end up getting, Sydney?
Well, what they thought was a Beagle Basset Hound mix. After getting she had floppy ears, and then as she got older, they got her as a puppy because she was the last of her litter, and they felt sad for her. Her ears perked up, and these ears are satellite dishes.
And when she lays down and basks in the sun, she gets this little squinty, content grin on her face.
It's very Chihuahua.
It's very Chihuahua, and they finally got her DNA tested. And I'm not sure which company they went with or how accurate it is, but
I don't remember.
the results were very convincing. She was half Chihuahua and then like a mixture of Staffordshire
Terrier.
There we go. One of the pit bull breeds. And then like some just random like husky I think was in there, which I'm like, okay, maybe.
So it was someone's
probably not.
prized Chihuahua escaped and got knocked up by a mutt. True Lady and the Tramp style.
But Shoku is a delight. Again, this dog has so much personality. She's so small. She's such a itty
Well,
bitty dog.
she's long.
She's a small, long dog.
She's a long dog.
Unfortunately, due to the mix that she is, she's definitely going to have joint problems when she gets older, just because she's small and long, and dogs unfortunately don't.
And her legs are different lengths.
Her legs are different lengths. Her front legs are shorter than her back legs. She used to run diagonally as a puppy until she figured out how to no longer do that.
I know, I'm very sad that she doesn't do it
She
anymore.
would trip because
it was hilarious.
She just
I
couldn't
loved
figure it out. Oh,
dogs have like no
delight.
control over their limbs.
No. But she's so sassy and she's so compassionate. And she's bonded so well with my mom. She's like perfectly matched. They got so lucky with her. But if you can't tell, I adore this dog so much.
This past summer, we got married, officially, and Mel's parents came up, and of course, they brought Shoku with them. But what was great was, we live with a cat, Sissa. Sissa doesn't live with any other animals besides my pet rats, which she does not interact with at all. So Mel's parents are bringing the dog in. Dog knows there's another animal in the apartment, and it's like the scene from The Shining. She's like busting through the door like, "Here's Shoku!" And Sissa is like terrified and runs in terror, like clips the hallway, like the little corner where it like turns into the rest of our apartment, and just like absolute terror.
She like jumped up onto the bed, and like by that point we were able to grab Shoku's leash and keep her from like charging into the bedroom.
I was not present for this. I only got to hear about it after, and I'm so sad that I didn't get to see it.
I think what it was is my parents didn't wait for me to come out and tell them it was all right to bring them in, because I was gonna put Sissa away because I knew Shoku would be a bit much. Shoku has a lot of energy,
and Sissa is a very prim cat.
Yes. Shoku would have loved to meet Sissa, but it's just too much energy.
Sissa was having none of it. And we had Sissa locked in our roommate's bedroom, where her litter box is in there, so it was fine.
Yeah, she has all of her things she needs there.
But Shoku would just sit at the door and like sniff, and Sissa would bap at her with her paws.
It was very funny. And that continued until Shoku realized that our rats existed.
Oh, yes.
In which case she would like meerkat up onto her hind legs, do a little wiggle dance.
She'd like jump to see them.
It was a bit intense.
The rats were not pleased.
The rats definitely like knew she was there and did not appreciate it. She was a bit much for them. But it was a delight seeing Shoku again. Shoku's so sweet. She'll hear me when I'm talking to my parents over the phone, and she'll look for me. And it kills me that after not living with them for 2 years, Shoku will continue to do this. And I'm just like, oh, she cares. She misses me.
Yeah, it's going to be hard when we eventually get a dog, and the standard's just going to be so high.
I mean, dogs are different. They're like people, so...
Our future cat is in trouble because they would have high standards to meet, because after Misty, I got to house sit 2 amazing cats named Mamma Mia and Tao Tao.
Oh, I remember those 2. You sent me pictures of them.
Yeah, they were both ragdolls. And Tao Tao was very sweet and small and quiet. And Mamma Mia, fitting her name, was big and loud and boisterous. But Tao Tao was funny because we'd have friends come over, and they would like go to sit down, and we'd be like, wait. Are you planning to be sitting for a while? And they're like, what? Why? And they just look down, and there's just a cat on their lap. Because Tao Tao was just so small and light. Like, he would just settle on people's laps, and that was it. He was there. Unfortunately, he had kidney problems and did pass away while he was staying with us.
Mamma Mia didn't take it too well, did she?
No, she
sad.
Definitely had a moment, like when the carrier came back empty. She was like looking in it and like, what the hell? But what we didn't super duper like was she tried to take up Tao Tao's role after that, and she was much too big. Like, Tao Tao could fit perfectly between your belly and your laptop. Mamma Mia did not. So it was a bit of a trial. She knocked over a lot of laptops.
Well, this kind of segues sort of into the next question. If you could have a pet of your choosing, so in this case for you, a cat, what is the ideal breed and what would you name them?
Definitely, obviously, like, we've both talked about it extensively. This is our children conversation. I would obviously want to get a mixed breed. If I like could choose a breed ethically, I would go for a ragdoll for sure. They're very sweet. They're very cuddly. They don't mind being picked up, and I believe they're one of the safer breeds to get because they don't have as many health issues. Because they're mostly just like temperament, rather than like a Munchkin, which has like fucked up legs, or a Persian, which has a fucked up face.
And what did you name your ragdoll?
That's tough. Probably Meatball.
Meatball. Oh gosh. Oh, what a good name.
I don't believe in people names for animals. Like, I want my animal to be hilarious.
As for me, and this might be a thing that comes true sooner than later, but as for me, my preferred dog would be a shelter dog. If I could choose the breed, probably a Staffy mix, just because Staffordshires are so sweet, so well-tempered. Honestly, I would love to have a Chihuahua Staffy mix like Shoko, but I know that's very tricky to get up here where we live in gloomy Seattle, not sunny San Diego. But you know, I kind of want to just keep my options open. But definitely a Staffy mix would be pretty sweet. As for a name, gosh, there's so many.
That's another thing we differ on. You like people names.
I kind of enjoy people names. I used to be a dog trainer, and some of my favorite dogs were Liam, Walter, Sally. Gosh, what was the other golden retriever's name that I just loved to bits?
Oh damn it! What was his name?
Did he have a G in his name?
Gus!
Oh, that's right. Gus was so sweet.
You loved Gus.
Gus was adorable. He's such a good boy. He can do a lot in, like, he could probably go into competitive obedience or something. Like, he was such a good boy. But I just love their names. There's something really funny about the juxtaposition of yelling a person name and then seeing a doofy dog coming up to you. It is delightful. But of course it would depend on the breed, the feel of the dog, the personality of the dog, but I would possibly default to literary names just because I'm a nerd. Or, you know, I would also do video game names like Umbra, Prina,
Nerd,
Link, Sedan.
We can't name the one Prina though. That's a curse waiting to happen.
That is true. There is one dog that I know, and his name is Dogwood, and I think it's the most hilarious thing ever. So that is also very up there on the list of animal names I would pick. Dogwood for a dog is just perfect.
See, that's forbidden. I would not allow it.
Why not? It's such a good name.
So, in the comic Dagwood, the guy has a dog named Dogwood, and Dagwood is made by a gross misogynist.
Oh, is that office cubicle?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, I think I'm thinking of Dilbert, which is different.
Oh, wait. No, you're right. I was wrong. Dogwood's something else.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Dogbert was what I was thinking of. Or maybe it was Dogwood. Either way, Dogwood's
No, I think it was Dogbert, because it was basically a carbon copy of Dilbert. Yeah. But it was a dog. Anyways, total segue. Why don't we briefly talk about what you've drawn here, since we're almost at time?
I actually got quite a lot done.
It's an orange head, it looks like.
Yeah, because we have oranges right now. So
they're delicious.
They are very delicious. We get the imperfect produce box. We're
not sponsored. You can't talk about them. We're not being paid to promote them.
But I like their stuff.
It is really good. But no, we got really nice oranges, and we're not going to say from where.
Fine. I'll just bleep it out. Anyway, it's just like a beach orange head.
Oh, cool. Fun.
So I got pretty far with it.
Nice.
Pretty solid.
You should do more object heads.
Yes, I should. I love them so much. They're so weird.
Out of curiosity, where did the concept of object head come from? Because I see it's kind of not a uncommon thing.
It's not. I don't know where it comes from. I just know that there's like a lot of cartoonists like them because there's a lot of fun expressions to come from.
I know
you've
done several different object heads. I think the one I'm most familiar with, not from you, but like from other media, is I think in Motor City they have a character that has like a TV screen for a head, or like an old CRTV.
Computer monitors and TVs are the most common ones because like it's so easy. And of course, like if you've watched FLCL.
Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I do recall
Conti had a computer head.
Yeah.
He was a robot though, so I don't know if that counts. But still,
that counts. But neat.
But
cool.
yeah, so I'm very fond of object heads.
It's a really interesting.
It's finding ways to do expressions without like faces.
Yes, it is definitely forcing you to not use facial expressions. It's all body language.
Absolutely. But
Nice.
I'd say this is a good place to call an episode. So thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on Drawntaneous.
See ya.